This episode is provided by Thomas Allgaier and Frennis, based on the most relevant LinkedIn posts about commercial fleets in calendar weeks 22 and 23. Frennis is a B2B market research company that supports automotive suppliers with building feature-by-feature competitive intelligence that shows exactly how their product stacks up against the competition. You can find more info in the description.
Yeah, and today we are laser focused on the top commercial fleet trends that have been popping up all across LinkedIn over those last 2 weeks. Our mission here is to, separate the hype from the actual on-the-ground operational transformations.
Right. So welcome to this deep dive, because honestly, if you're a mobility professional trying to navigate this shift right now, it can feel a bit, like buying a state-of-the-art sports car, getting it home, and then suddenly realizing your driveway is just this muddy dirt path, and the nearest gas station is 3 states away.
Exactly. The vehicle's totally ready for the future, but the environment around it, the infrastructure just hasn't caught up yet. I mean, we fall into this trap of thinking new tech adoption is this clean, simple switch, right? Like buy the new trucks, park them in the lot, and boom, green revolution.
Yeah, but looking at the raw data and the conversations from actual fleet operators, it's anything but a clean switch. It's a highly complex, honestly frustrating landscape.
It really is. And we should probably start with the big picture because the scale of what's happening is just staggering. Fleet electrification isn't a pilot program anymore. It is an active, massive shift.
Even if our perception is lagging behind the data, I mean, I was looking at insights shared by Gavin Mooney and Asad Razouk about the Eastern markets.
Yeah.
And the numbers out of China they're wild. Electric truck sales there just surpassed 50% of their monthly sales.
Wait, 50%? That's not just a trend anymore. That's a tipping point.
Exactly. It's reshaping global diesel demand entirely. They're displacing something like 1.7 million barrels of oil every single day.
Wow. And, we're seeing that massive logistical shift in the West, too. I saw the updates from Amazon executives, Carr H. Hurst and Carrie Constabile, and they reported having over 50,000 electric delivery vans live globally.
50,000. That's huge.
Yeah. And they are already halfway to their 2030 deployment goal. And those vans delivered 2.4 billion packages. So this isn't just for show. The actual backbone of global e-commerce is actively running on battery power right now.
Right, but let me push back a bit because that sounds great. But if the numbers are so good, why is there still so much hesitation out there? Is this like the early days of smartphones where people clung to their flip phones because they were just terrified the battery would die before 5 p.m.?
That is honestly the perfect analogy, because the hesitation today is mostly operational psychology, not the actual tech. Jamie Sands highlighted this fascinating contradiction in the UK market. Right now, about 70% of UK operators say they have no plans for zero-emission vehicles.
70%.
Yeah, and their number one reason, range fear.
Range fear. So they're worried the truck will just die on the highway, and they'll have to explain to a client why their shipment is stuck on the side of the road.
Exactly. But here's the crazy part. Sands points out that the average UK heavy goods vehicle only moves about 107 kilometers a day.
Oh, wow. Which is well within battery limits.
Completely within limits. The barrier isn't the battery chemistry, it's just confidence. And Adam Darius-Cadro brought up a crucial mindset shift we need here. Fleet operators have to focus on total cost of ownership, or TCO, instead of just the upfront acquisition cost.
Right, treating them as financial assets. Because the sticker price is higher, sure, but lower fuel and maintenance costs offset that pretty quickly, right?
Yeah, exactly. You're eliminating the volatile variables like diesel prices and heavy mechanical maintenance. TCO aggressively favors the electric model once you do the math.
Okay, that makes sense. But that brings us back to our muddy driveway problem. If the TCO math works and range isn't the real issue, what's actually stopping a fleet manager who wants to electrify today?
Well, it's the depot, and more specifically, the local power grid. Angelo E. and Joachim Lois pointed out that the real TCO killer isn't the truck. If you want to install DC fast chargers, you need industrial power. And getting grid upgrades can take, get this, 3 to 7 years.
3 to 7 years. You could cycle through a whole generation of trucks while waiting for the city to lay a cable.
Right. And even if you have the power, utility demand charges can just wreck your budget. They penalize you for massive, instantaneous power draws. So if your fleet plugs in all at once, that single 15-minute spike can add tens of thousands of dollars to a monthly bill.
Which totally vaporizes all the TCO savings you just gained.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw this clever workaround for this from Michael Bayer at ADS Tech Energy and Angelo E. They were talking about battery-integrated DC fast charging.
Yes. the battery buffer approach.
Yeah, so instead of waiting for the city to build a wider pipe for the water, you just, put a giant water tower on your roof that fills up slowly overnight.
Exactly. That's exactly how it works. By using on-site batteries to buffer the charge from a standard low-voltage connection, fleets can dodge those massive demand charge spikes. The power dumps rapidly from the battery to the truck, completely bypassing the utility grid's peak rates.
So you can deploy in weeks instead of years.
Right. And Neil Riddell stressed that this is why operators need to calculate the total cost of charging, not just the electricity price, and look into shared depot infrastructure. But it gets even better.
How so?
Mo Ismail points out that this setup actually turns your fleet into an energy asset. Because you have flexible on-site storage, you can earn money by trading on energy markets.
Wait, really? A parking lot making money?
Yeah. Charging flexibility can earn fleets 30,000 to 50,000 pounds per megawatt yearly. It's a game changer.
That is wild. Okay, so while depots solve their power issues privately, the public sector and, urban geography are physically forcing fleets to adapt to tighter spaces, right?
Oh, absolutely. The regulatory momentum is huge right now.
Yeah, Keith Kerman and Alicia Gelday just helped launch this bicoastal fleet accord. It unites NYC and LA County's municipal fleets, that's 47,000 vehicles, to essentially force market scale. And Margot Ochik noted California's new $1 billion rebate program for heavy trucks.
And it's not just the usual blue states either. David Schlossberg points out that Texas is rapidly overtaking California as the electric truck capital.
Texas, really?
Yeah, purely because of TCO advantages and fast infrastructure deployment. Deregulation makes it easier to build chargers quickly.
Huh. But wait, even if we make all these massive trucks electric and we fix the charging, doesn't that just give us zero-emission traffic jams in cities built 100 years ago? Like a giant electric van blocking a bike lane is still blocking a bike lane.
That is the exact problem that's driving the shift toward microfreight. Ryan Bostic shared that Amazon is piloting small electric cargo vehicles and e-bikes to beat dense city congestion. Giant Rivian vans are, great for suburbs, but a liability in ultra-dense cities.
Right, so we are moving toward local microhubs, smaller vehicles doing the last mile.
Exactly. And adding to this futuristic shift, Hazim Ben Ghassem reported a $250 million funding round for Cargo X. They are deploying autonomous delivery bots across the GCC.
Okay, so self-driving boxes on wheels. That is, running a complex mixed fleet of heavy EVs, diesel trucks, e-bikes, and autonomous bots. You can't just use a spreadsheet for that.
No way. You need a new kind of brain. And that brings us to the operational shift driven by AI and telematics. Zeshan Zahid notes that telematics is no longer just tracking dots on a map. It's a decision layer now. Fleets are moving from monitoring trucks to managing intelligence.
And this intelligence actually finds hidden money. Facundo Tessara explained how AI is catching fuel fraud, specifically ghost fills.
Oh, those are brutal.
Yeah, where a card is swiped, but the tank level doesn't rise. The AI catches it instantly, saving fleets up to 25% in losses. And Samuel Elkins added that with freight margins as thin as $20,000 per truck, eliminating compliance leakage is literally the only way to survive.
Exactly. Every drop of fuel, every minute of uptime counts. But AI is also making the adoption frictionless for the workers. Amar Bosch highlighted an AI agent running on WhatsApp for fire truck fleets.
Oh, I saw that. So instead of learning complex software, crews can just text, generate readiness report.
Yeah, it democratizes the data. And DY Del Mundo even talks about building telematics apps on local LLMs, large language models, to remove token cost anxiety during development.
Because if you're running AI on a cloud server for thousands of trucks every second, that gets expensive fast.
Right, so doing it locally solves that.
Okay, so AI handles the data, it finds the fraud, it routes the bots. But what about the physical wrenches? Like, if a truck breaks, it's still sitting in a shop losing money.
Well, actually, not anymore. David Fish and Vineet Kumar shared some amazing insights on mobile maintenance.
Okay, wait, what is that?
It means bringing the service bay directly to the asset. Stellantis and Amazon ran a pilot in Madrid where they did exactly this. You completely decouple maintenance from downtime. It's like having a pit crew fix your vehicle while you sleep.
Oh, wow. So the van finishes its route, parks at the depot, and while the driver is off the clock, the mechanic comes to the lot and fixes it.
Exactly. The vehicle never misses a delivery window.
That is brilliant. Well, we've covered a ton of ground today, and I want to leave everyone with a final thought to mull over. With vehicles turning into rolling batteries and AI managing every mile and kilowatt, the fleet manager of 2030 won't just be in logistics.
No, they definitely won't.
They're going to need to be part energy trader, part data scientist. So the question is, how will traditional mobility professionals need to reinvent their own skill sets to keep up?
That's the billion-dollar question right there. If you enjoyed this episode, new episodes drop every 2 weeks. Also, check out our other editions on electrification and battery technology, future mobility and market evolution, and next-gen vehicle intelligence.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. Remember to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next Deep Dive.